You see me? I'll take that subtlety because that's how I be.
Silly child.
I am silly. I know this.
Can't say that you're silly.
Pre-prep myself.
You know it's my turn, right?
I still gotta. I still gotta have my stuff on when we pray, though,
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know you were saying you forgot which was which this time. That's why.
because I'm odd and you're even.
Right. No. Now that you're saying it, you remember, but before we was confused.
Oh yes, 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 yes. Woo! So sorry for that, people. That was literally a yarn coming out of my face. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I apologize.
Don't worry, I'm gonna be doing it too.
Oh,
Because not like I didn't sleep. I'm just tired.
oh, I feel
You
you.
know,
I feel
you know how you sleep, but sometimes you still wake up tired, but you
you.
can't go
Yes,
back.
because I didn't sleep very much.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
I slept, but I didn't get the deep sleep that I wanted. You know.
Well, God is quick. Well,
Yes.
we are slow. And after this, I'm going back to bed. I'm gonna wake up again later because I got to. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and plus I got up early this morning. So here's the catch up with this. Now I laugh because the way my therapist put it, I have a team that takes care of mommy now,
Yes. Yes.
and I'm like, yeah, I literally have a team. So I'm like, I'm waking up
You
at
have
eight o'clock.
I feel I don't know because I put you know how I look at things differently. We just confirmed that I'm weird. So uh in my mind, I feel as if God and God's infinite, their beauty, God's beauty is providing you rewards for doing what God has told you to do.
Yes,
Where
I 100% believe that.
thank you. Because that's what I feel like. It's like, okay, God is saying, hey, I'm sending my angel army
Oh yeah, see, that was
to
the thing.
cover you.
I wasn't complaining about it. I just laughed that I have a team now.
Oh, I never thought you complained. Girl,
Oh, okay.
you can't be complaining about having protection that you didn't have before.
Right.
Having people that actually are trained, eh, eh, trained in the field of healthcare,
Hmm.
trained in the field of caretakers,
Yep.
whereas you were hanging by a prayer.
Right.
Right. Doing well, but still hanging by a prayer
Oh yeah.
where you may have had anxiety. And it just and it brings into the conversation we're going to be having today, where same thing with David. When you start to lean on God, when you start to truly trust in God's ability to protect and to hold and to encourage. Now, do bad things happen? Or what we consider bad things? Of course. But that is called life. And if we forget that life is life and it comes with good and the bad, okay? We don't always get the joy. I mean, anybody want to think about that? You could just pick up a chapter and somewhere in any Bible, any spiritual doctrines, there's always yin and yang. So anybody who thinks, oh my God, it's God's fault that all the bad things happen. No, honey, no, hunty. That's not how that works. But keep it up, girl.
Yes. So like I was saying, I was laughing at the fact that I have a team and just being in charge of said team. Because that's what I was saying is I have to get up at 8 o'clock every morning because that's when shift change happens, and I gotta let people out the house. So it it's hard because I go back to sleep because there's somebody in my house and they can take care of mommy. You know, but I wake up at 10 o'clock. I only get to sleep for an extra 2 hours. I was like, dang it. I try to sleep in and I can't. I'm up. You're on mute.
I realized that. I was trying to be polite. I was saying you and your spouse can shift. So that's the beautiful thing because Gwen don't like to always ask for help, but the fact that she does ask for help nowadays is actually a very good thing. So I
Oh
always say it's
yeah.
good to ask, you God blessed her with a partner, people. So just keep that in mind. She got a
Oh yeah.
partner
And the
who
partner
does help
takes
a
it.
lot. So
Oh yeah, he takes the night shift. I just take the morning shift. It just made it easier
see,
because
see how they put it, people. So you see that there is partnership. So that's another tool for all those who are in couples. Male, female, 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 male, male, whatever, female, male, male, or the dreams, Lord, the dreams. But anyway, whichever type of couplings you in, don't forget to always lean on that too, because God gave you that as well.
oh yeah. So well, with that being said, we're gonna say this. Hello and welcome to Godly Spiritual Ladies. We always forget this part, but I'm one of your co-hosts, Gwendolyn. That's Sheila, looking cute as ever because she is.
That's it.
And we're here to talk to you about church and nothing and life and stats and trying to lose weight and
Yeah,
yeah, just stuff.
life. We all about that life.
Hmm.
And our next goal in lives, and I'm gonna say this because it just popped into my head. Um, motherhood. Motherhood. Now, motherhood comes in many forms, people. Just keep that in mind.
No,
Motherhood also doesn't mean you like adopt, foster, but it also could be mentorship.
yeah, no. It was hilarious
Mm,
because we went over to my friend's house yesterday, right? Now those are my best friends next to Sheila, of course. We know this. I've talked about them before. So all their kids is my kids, and they all see me like that. So I'm like, those are my nieces and nephews. And then I was talking with the mom, and the funniest thing happens like how it seems like we keep adopting people. They just could come in and say because no. Sheila laughs at me, but I do this all the time. It's like certain people I take under my wing and they're mine.
have you ever held a ceremony?
No.
That would be really cute to do though, because I've done small ceremonies where their parents, myself, um, just a small little gathering, and where we would pledge, hey, I accept you as my godchild.
Oh,
You accept me as your godmother.
actually, we did something like that last night because the second oldest, her best friend, mother threw them out because she crazy. Yeah. Ooh, in that textbook. No, I didn't give you permission to leave. You can't do this. I'm not. Blah, blah, blah. I'm calling the cops. I'm sending them to wherever your location is. All that kind of crazy.
So is she
TV
getting
show
emancipated?
crazy. Oh, she got like 9 months.
9 months of
They,
emancipation?
no, till she's 18.
So she can still get emancipated.
I know they working on it. This just happened. Like I'm talking
Oh,
about
okay,
the day
okay, okay.
before
We
yesterday.
talk about that after.
Right.
'Cause I'm
So
gonna give
what
you
I'm
the tea real quick.
no. I understand what you're saying. I'm like, this just happened. They working on it,
Hmm,
right?
hmm, hmm, hmm. Sorry,
What I
people. My
found.
lawyer mind goes into head. Sorry.
Oh yeah, we know. So what was happening? I was like, I was teasing him, and I was like, okay. I was talking to Crystal, and I was saying, yeah, you just adopt kids. It's like, yeah, that is like my 479th kid because it's like they come over and the parents just like, your parents are so cool. They're better than mine. And they stay at the house too long. And I was just like, I was talking to her. I was like, see, this my niece over here. This my other niece. You my niece now. Shut up and just take it. She's just like over here teasing. So that was our little ceremony. I was just saying because we were saying the same thing. I was like, I'm claiming you. You're allowed to come to my house because I've known her for a little while now. And I'm just like, we're looking after us because I say sometimes your chosen family is better than the family that you're born into.
Hmm.
Just sometimes because you have the people with the mental illnesses that really need to get help, but this won't.
No, I feel
So
you.
yeah, that's why I was saying with that thing there, with the little ceremony, it's like we were having a little drinky drink, and we were all there, and I was like, oh, this is like a little ceremony. If you think about it, it's like, yes, you're mine. Because I was like, no, just like her, you're gonna come over, and I'm like, she's gonna steal one half of my makeup, and you're gonna steal the other half of my makeup, and I'm just like, okay.
You're insane, but I love it.
Of course. You know, you have these things, and it's just like that. Sheila, are you working?
No, but my mind just went somewhere. So keep talking. Okay, so people, Gwendolyn is quite aware when she can see my eyes avert because my face, oh Lord, my face, for those who have not followed us on this channel, my brain moves
we can easily
faster.
stop our mouth, but we can't stop our face.
Right. My face is doing its thing because my mind is already on lightning speed in different directions about something. And so it just you just gotta go with the flow, people. This is how godly spiritual ladies be working. We be spiritually moved and mentally crazy.
Pretty much, yes. Like
Yes, I'm back now.
like literally. It was funny. I was talking to my therapist on Friday, right? Now you know what the funny part is? He's like, I've been in therapy for 3 years now because it started in a pandemic. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, we're redoing the biopsychosocial again because you have changed so much and grown since your first diagnosis. We need to redo that.
Right.
And I'm
All
like,
we have to be evaluated.
so she's gonna reevaluate me, and I'm like, oh, okay, because I was looking at, because she told me the original diagnosis, and I'm like, yeah, I don't feel that way anymore, which is good.
Yeah. No, that's always a good thing.
It's always a good thing. So I'm like, it's not the major depressive where I'm stuck. It's more of the anxiety where I'm afraid of the unknown.
Oh, and that's and and for all those who are listening, that really is a big deal because trust me, a lot of us suffer from fear of what we cannot control.
Yes, and I have a very big control issue. Sheila knows this. Yes, I see your hand up there. Yes, you too. But we just have control issues in different situations.
It makes us great leaders, though.
Yes, it does.
Insane people, but it still makes us great leaders, even though we don't want to be.
That is so true.
We're reluctant leaders.
Yeah, I was like, this is why like Sheila and I work well together because she'll lead and come up with an idea. I make sure to have the backup plan to the backup plan, and we go.
And Gwendolyn's willing, and the best part is, this is so sad for me to say this, but in my life, I have been blessed or benefited by the dear God, as they are, to have people who have learned to step back. And what I mean by that is they are also alphas that can flip to betas.
Yeah.
Who alphas who go to beta mode. Never omegas. They're never because I can't deal with I can deal with omegas, but I prefer a beta. A beta is someone that can step in who is also an alpha in their own right, but can become second when needed when there is a insane alpha. Me. So having friends, family members that are awesome alphas on their own, but who allow me to be the alpha and allow them to be the beta on certain topics helps, and then allows me to also be a beta when I need to be a beta. So I find that I enjoy having, or I need, not enjoy, I need that complexity. And many of you out there may have that and not realize that's what it is, where you have a alpha personality and are unable to become a beta. And you need to learn, because it's a learned behavior to become a beta from time to time. That's just compromised. So that was just my 2 cents on what you just said.
Yes, that is. And this one little braid is driving me crazy. Come on, go over there. Okay. Stay in the same spot.
Did you know I've had my braids in my hair since June 2nd?
Oh, wow, really? You did good at keeping them.
Yeah, girl, of course. But yeah, June 2nd, you said braids, and that's made me think of that one. June 2nd, but yeah, I'm time to take them out, girl. It's time to take them out. I got to redo them. I got to redo them because those who don't know, Black people hair or just hair coarse. Actually, let me take that back. Not Black people hair, because let me tell you, I have seen some white folks or Spanish people like, not Spanish people like myself, because there are Black Spanish people, but people with curly hair. Let's put it that way. People with curly hair nation, the curly hair nation. Why don't y'all, those who think that they should never take care of the hair, who got curly hair, and then it becomes a nest, wonder why. And so now you have the curly hair nation where people need to understand if you got curly, wavy hair, please take care of it. Don't care what nationality you are, what race you are, what ethnicity you are. If you got curly hair, wavy hair, take care of your hair because then you're going to have the wonder why when the brush don't work or the comb don't pass and you crying. Don't do that to yourself. Just don't. Okay. So take care of your hair.
Okay. Now with the jibber jabber done, we're going to go into our stats, which is not too much. Now
I'm
I'll
fat.
start. Huh?
I'm fat. Next. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself to shut up.
I know the people who are listening to this can't see my face, but I am staring daggers. No, it's the bombastic side eye. I was just like, seriously, don't. Yes. Anyway, back to the stats. Now, here is the funny thing. I look like I lost weight because everywhere, like Sheila says, my face is thin. Even my home health aide who see me every day for the last year, he's like, "No, you've lost weight." The scale don't say it, which is annoying because if you look at my body shape, it does look like I have gotten smaller, but the number is still around the same. I might have lost like 5 pounds. Huh?
You've shift what I call that shifting. So
Uh-huh.
weight has shifted. Because I've
Right.
seen that myself. And the best way to know where your weight has shifted, I found out, is when you start to measure. Because one of the apps I have has me take
Measurement.
measuring tape, whatever, and measure different parts of your body. And that's where you can see which is grown, which is not grown, which is shifted, which is moved, where you've done certain types of new lifestyle changes, right?
Yes.
That have shifted the weight and strengthened it in other spots
Yes.
and reduced it in other places. So places where you used to carry fat, like for
I,
me, I tend to carry fat here in my
yeah,
face.
I was carrying fat in my face. My face is slim.
Exactly. And so that means that if the scale says, oh, you still like 150, right? A buck 50, but you thought, oh, people think, oh, I'm now 130. It's because you've shifted and you may have other parts of your body that you don't realize because you may not tape it to see, okay, this part has maybe grown, this part has gotten lighter because you've moved the fat. And that could just be based on whatever lifestyle functions you do, that may have done that. If you've done more with your face recently because you're doing more um, water, whatever, what medications you might take, they may take fat from here and move it. So that's very what I call reshaping.
Yeah. So I have. Well, I haven't decided on any course of action yet for the fall. I'm going to see what I want to get into because how can I put this? I don't have an excuse anymore of having to take care of mom. I can actually go to the gym and do stuff. And like my home health aides are like, get out the house. Because they were so happy that I went out yesterday and then came back and stuff like this. And I was like, okay, see, you could go do stuff and,
You can go
things.
places. You can go on
Yes,
vacation. You can leave the area. Because nowadays, as long as you trust the organization, you can always have a schedule where there is a key where one health aide shift, like when the shift changes, where one hands them the next key. You
right.
hand them the next key. You hand them the journal. I hand you the book. Here you go. Here's the daily log and the key. You pass it to the next person. Next person. Next person. That's all they do. It's just all right. Whoever's coming in, here you go. Here's the log. Here's the key about your life. You could be gone except to check in. That's the life that you got right now.
Right, which I am just starting to get used to because this is like week 2. And I just went out for the first time and I'm like, so that's why I'm saying right at this moment, I don't have the plan. That's it. That's the word. Plan of what I'm going to do. Because before I said I
There's
have
no
a
plan
plan
of
for
action, people. None.
Right. Before I would say I have a plan for a month, I'm going to do yoga or I'm going to do this. And then don't do it, but or do it haphazardly. I'm not lying anymore. I refuse.
Amen.
And I'm like, was just tired and lazy. There's two things. And so I'm like, now come up fall, it's like, oh, once that starts, I'm like, I'm gonna get a routine again to be able to do things that make me happy. And part of that will be going to the gym, even though it'll make me in pain. But I like the gym. I miss my treadmill, get my walk on. What now? I got the Fitbit on the ankle. I get all them steps in. I'm like, yes. So going forward, that's what we're planning to do. But this is all going to start because I'm saying the end of the month, the beginning of next, because that's when I go back to work
Mm-hmm.
and I can, write out the schedule and do the things that I need to do. Because right now, I am in the process of settling and getting used to the routine of having all these people in my house.
Right,
Like
right, right.
I just redid mommy's room. It came out so cute. I got a chair that turns into a bed.
Okay.
I got a little shelf thingy, the cube shelf you get at Target. And I'm
Mm.
like, oh, this is nice. And so far, the night people love it. Even the day person was in there chilling with mommy because it's a cooler room. So they in there with mom. Mom up there looking like a little princess, the queen that she is, just chilling. I'm like, this lady living a life.
And that's how it should be, after our
Yeah,
parents have done their best, it's time for them to do their own thing. And it's a good testament to how our parents have raised us or how they have raised you, where you see the benefit for what you can do for your parent and within your scope, and then also to make the person that's there to help them comfortable and have a space for themselves.
exactly. And that
Mhm.
worked out really well. And I got it on a 70% off sale.
Did it with a bargain, financial bargain. Yes,
Oh,
people.
I was like, thank you, Wayfair. I was like, Wayfair, you came in with the sale, the 3-day shipping, free shipping at that. I was like, yeah. And it's a nice bed too. It's comfortable.
That's all that matters. I mean, the fact is that these people don't expect, they don't know who the clients they go into. And
Hmm.
when they get clients that actually are people who are
Care.
appreciative of their work, that hold them as professionals, that don't treat them as beneath them, is beautiful. Because I've
Oh
seen
yeah,
people
no.
who treat certain healthcare people terribly, and then wonder why these people steal from them, or do something negative. You treat someone with such compassion and respect, guilt creeps in for them to ever think of doing anything bad. And then when you're blessed with good people,
Yeah, I said the funny thing was, I told Kim yesterday, I said, I'm starting Christmas shopping now.
it's a good time to do it though.
Yeah, I said by October I want to have everything. And I'm like, I said we got 4 home health aides to shop for because I'm like I'm getting them a little something because
Yeah,
it's
sometimes.
appreciative.
Especially
I
when you
said,
get to learn, when you learn about each person a little bit, you kind of know, okay, this person's interested in such and such.
mhm, right, and I'm like. It was just funny. I was like, no. He's like, well, our list is just getting bigger and bigger. I'm like, yeah, I know. But it is what it is when you have like we said, the chosen family.
Hmm.
Now, do you actually have any stats besides I'm fat?
Well, I say that just because that's how I feel right now. However, my weight has stayed at 226 right now. I have implemented where I'm terrible at doing this on a daily. So I'm not going to lie to myself and play with myself. So what I've started to do, and I want to try to continue to do, is to make sure that at least once or twice a week, I am taking my sugar and my blood pressure, and tracking that in an app. Because I do use two different apps for that. I'm terrible. I know.
No,
But
no, no. I don't know the last time I checked my sugar.
oh, okay. I thought that was you were admonishing me.
No, I was like, oh, I should be checking my sugar. I ain't got no pills either. I got to get to my doctor
Yes.
because
Okay.
St.
Okay. Okay.
Patrick.
Good.
Oh my God, you
So
just
yeah. So
reminded me
I've gotten
again.
to the point where
Okay.
I take my meds every day, but I was terrible at tracking that. So since I've done that, I've been seeing that, okay, my pressure has been beautiful. Um, which is great. And I showed my mom even when we were on vacation, how I do it a couple of different ways. As my doctor showed me how, and then just making sure I take my sugar at least twice a week versus at least every day like my mother does, because she does it a couple of times a day. And I'm not partial to getting, yeah, no, I'm not partial to bleeding like that. But another thing is also making sure that I up my water intake and be religious about it as I used to be, because I realized
Oh
that
yeah, because when you used to be, it was really good. Everything was
it was
great.
great hydration, because I suffer from dehydration. Because
Mhm.
I'm always getting, whenever I go to any of these exams, they're like, you look like you were dehydrated. I'm like, oh well, oh sorry. And it's when it comes back on the blood work, oh she's suffering from severe hydration. I'm like, so I realized when I was away that because I could drink the damn water from the tap. When I tell you people, Iceland had beautiful tap water. What? Glaciers. But I was drinking it like, and I could tell the difference when I started to get parched. I was like, ooh, water, please, water, please. I need to get those are my implementations that I'm trying to
Mhm.
get myself into, small and steady. And more activity, not steps. So I used to be focused a lot on steps. Right now, what I'm noticing is that with the new challenges that I found on the Stride Kick, that there's activity counter challenge. And I found that when I was reading some other articles that movement, certain type of heart pounding activity measures better for a body versus stagnancy. And so I said, okay, let me try to see how much I can do with my movement versus my steps. How much can I really bring up my endorphins in the body? So I'm going to try that for at least a month or two to see what kind of impact that does for my body and my mental state, because, well, my mental state is important, people, because I'm a bit crazy. Oh, that's my stats. Side note, if there are any beautiful 50-year-old Scottish men that are in the Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia area, please email us at godlyspiritualladies at gmail.com, or tag us on Spotify. I have a thing that I want to get done, and I need to ask questions. And specifically, sorry, Scottish ladies, but I'm looking for the Scottish men's deck because I want a male perspective on something. So hit me up, hit us up. Hey, not for that kind of stuff, but hit us up. But if you were single, it'd be better. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm done.
Oh, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got none of that. Just let me unfold this.
Cause she crazy.
Cause you.
True that. All day and every day. What? All day and every day. Ah.
Okay. All right. That I'll have to do because my hair is up. I know it's weird, but look, my hair has been up all
Honey,
summer.
people have seen me do worse. So you're good.
That is true. Cause I'm
And you're
like,
the one who's
and,
always got the cute beat. So
oh
her
yeah, this beat is
nails be
good.
on point, her beat be on point, and y'all just get me my gypsy self.
But you've never been into having the makeup and the nails and all that all the time. That has never been you. It has always been me.
I like
That's why.
purses. I'm a sucker for purses and shoes. I
Yes.
have a lot of shoes that I really, 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 really don't need, but I do have a lot of shoes and a lot of purses. I can't help it.
Okay. All right. Let's get this over here so I can have this ready. Go away. Away. Okay. Put this here. Everybody, please bow your head. Close your eyeballs. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for allowing us to have this time on this line today. We ask you to open up our hearts and minds to you, to be able to understand you, to understand David and the plight of where he was at. Help us to just understand where we are in your life. Not our life, your life, because you are in control of this life. And we thank you for it. Sometimes we are hard headed and don't listen, but eventually we'll get there. Especially with me and Sheila. Everybody else, I don't know about them. for all of this. We thank you for our families. We thank you for our chosen families. We ask you to guide and show us the way that you need us to be in everything that there is. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so we are reading Psalms again, still, because it's long.
It's Psalms.
Yes, because it's long.
That too.
Yes, because we're only on 14. So, as Sheila gets naked.
Oh, the quick change, people. A quick change. I had a shirt underneath. I was wearing a half sweater. It's
Oh
hot.
yeah, I got you. Oh yeah, it is.
I was in
Okay.
my bedroom and I have it's cold in my room. This is what I do. It's just cold in my room.
Oh no, I understand. Okay, so we're reading Psalms 14 and I'm reading it from the Message. Now, as I always say is I like NIV to understand it first and then to read it from the Message just to laugh. No, I always say that for the laugh for the Message because the Message be getting to the point, but it got these sly jokes in there. Because this is how you know God is funny because you be sitting there like, and especially the way you read it, because the way me and Sheila read it are two different reads, but they be having both of us crack up. And Sheila already laughing and I ain't even started yet. Tell me I'm lying. I ain't lying.
No, because it is true. The Message, I don't know. I was a couple of years ago. I found the Message translation, and I've been stuck with it ever since.
Yeah,
It just made sense to me.
Right, and now doing this, the more and more we do it, the more and more I read from the Message. I will read both versions, and I'm like, nah, the Message got this one. Sometimes I read the NIV one, but I'm like, nah, the Message got this one because this one was funny. Because I read the NIV and then I went to the Message one. So, people, I suggest both to really get the full aspect, the grasp of the word.
Mm-hmm.
And if
It is
you're
funny.
really,
And it is about a little slightly longer, but not as long. It's not as short either. So
right, exactly, it's just right on point. That's
Mhm.
basically what it is. It's right on point. Okay. Now I don't know how to say this first word, so just bear with me. Bilius, Bilius.
That's how I was pronouncing it.
Okay, thank you. Because I was looking at this going, yeah, I do that a lot.
She's like, I have no
So,
idea what this means. Help me out here.
thank you. I got the gist of it, but I'm
It's nausea or vomiting.
like, okay, that's why.
Hence why the next line says what it says.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me get to reading here.
Mhm.
Bilious and bloated, they gas. God is gone. Their words are poisonous gas, fouling the air. They poison rivers and skies. Thistles are their crop, cash crop. God sticks his hand out of heaven and he looks around. He's looking for someone not stupid. He ain't find nobody. One man, even God expected just one God ready woman, man, something, but they dumb as fuck. That's not in there.
No. But you know the intention.
Yes. He comes up empty, a string of zeros, useless, unshepherded. Sheep take turns pretending to be the shepherd. The 99, the 90 and the 9 follow their follow, meaning they following nobody. Don't they know anything? All these predators. Don't they know they can't get away with this, treating people like fast food meals, which they are too busy to pray? Night is coming for them, and nightmares. But God takes sides of victims. Do you think you can mess with the dreams of the poor? You can't, for God makes their dreams come true. Is there anything around us? Is there anyone around to save Israel? Yes, God is around. God turns life around. Turned around Jacob, skip ropes, turn around Israel, sings laughter. The end.
Hello.
Basically my life. Except I'm not stupid. I'll admit that. I will backslide, but I am not stupid. I said I ain't lying no more. I will
I tell you, it's funny because what you're saying. Keep going though, because what you're saying, I'm gonna have my 2 cents here. Go.
Oh, I know. And I was like, I when I connected with the the message that I read before we started, I was like, that's what life feels like today. God is looking around for righteous people, and He's like, oh, this one's good. Nope, got a black spot. Nope, imperfect. Nope. Oh, you just ugly. You just evil. Like, no. And I was like, I'm going. He's up there looking like, I'm gonna find some people in this mess. If not, I'm gonna make some. And just like sit there, and he's like, he like playing The Sims. He's like, okay, we're gonna change this perspective for you. We're gonna change it for you. Oh, y'all thought y'all was gonna come after my people. I gotta rewrite the whole code. I wrote the code. I know how to write the code and stuff. So y'all gonna leave my people alone. Think y'all winning right now? You only got 5 minutes, so shut the fuck up. That was my take on it. Go ahead.
Oh, I love her take though, people. I really do, because I do align with it a lot too. Because for me, I look at it in this sense that God is God. I've said this more than once. God was long here before, Israel looked for God. So God isn't just Israel's people. God is all of our people. It's for all people because we are all God's children. Now, I say this because in my divination, or not divination, but prayer, and praising, I have that sense that from God, that God has been around since the beginning, because God created the beginning. They were here. So we have different ways of understanding how God works. God, like us, because we God's children. We're always looking for people, like we said earlier, looking for people that could be in our lives that can be either beta or alphas, or some people need omegas, in their lives, or who are omegas themselves. That's nothing wrong with that. You are important. You are needed. Okay. But you don't need to be stupid. And stupidity is something that I've lived in, where doubting myself, doubting who we are, okay, putting ourselves in the captor's feeling. So God is looking out for the people that are like, okay, who here has some sense? Who here has some ability to take up the mantle and help really be the lead? Who here is ready to be the rounders, right? To round up the folks that are straggling in the back. You need people to be in charge sometimes, but you need people to be able to know when to take leadership. If God is saying, hey, follow me, and you walking towards the cliff, and God is like, wait, hello, listen, follow. What makes sense? People don't do that all the time. And I love the fact that David's like putting it in a way to say, hey, I am not an entity. I'm not an oddity. I am not by myself in this endeavor to follow God. But I feel like it, because I feel like the people around me are just ass, complete people booty holes. Okay. And they don't know how to get out of their own. And I found that really enlightening, in the sense that you have people that just don't know how to follow correctly, and how to lead correctly, and or pay attention when you feel when you've prayed that prayer of discernment, and God is telling you to do something, but yet you still have the audacity to do something different. Have we all not been there?
Most of the people in New York.
Most people anywhere, girl.
And well, I know. I'm just saying New York because I'm here.
In your neck of the woods. And it's like, right. It's like when you see this and you're just sitting there going, what you doing? Why are you doing it? Could you come back to me, please? Roll back. It's like, don't go into the light. Not yet. Come back. It's just wonderful to see how even thousands of years after, again, we're reading his version, or what we've been told is his version of his journal, and it still makes sense. It still makes sense, because
I was thinking that earlier too.
Humans are still human, and we still doing the same thing. But thankfully, we still have that ability to know when we're doing dumb shit,
Right.
and many of us are still working towards that proper or proper for us. Now keep that in mind. It's not proper for the general, not proper for the norm. You have a personal journey. Follow your personal path. Listen to what God is saying to you and know what's true. Because don't be trying to tell me that, oh, God told me to go kill these people. Why would God say that?
Exactly.
Be understanding to know what you're listening to is a true God and not in a true sense. Because a true God would not be telling you to go harm somebody, baby, or harm yourself. Money.
That is true. Ooh.
So, yes, I agree completely that there are plenty of stupid people out there. I
Oh
was
yeah.
one of them, and I tend to be some act like a dumb from time to time. But yeah, at least
Oh.
I learn for myself every time. I'm like, oh girl, you acting dumb.
Oh no, I've done that. Like I said, like people who on here who followed us. It took me 3 years to go back to school. Best thing I ever did, and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I find it interesting that we are a race, and I mean race by everybody, doing to repeat the same things over and over and over until we get it right. Because this was written some odd 2,000 years ago, and we're still doing the same thing. You know, you have people. That's why I said it's like him playing The Sims, going in to pick out people. It's like, you're good. No, you still got a spot. You know, it's just blemish. It's like he's looking for the unblemished kind, and it's very hard. And I realized that's why he had to send his son in the first place because he couldn't find nobody. So he said, I created one here just to save y'all because y'all are still repeating the same problems over and over again. Now, some of y'all are getting better because you understand the discernment with the wisdom. Because you can have wisdom without discernment and be dumb as a box of rocks. It's like, So, but it's like I've been saying through reading through Psalms and David's journal. This is something that you should read and should understand just to know where you're going. It's like, oh, like we talk about what my therapist said, you need to be reevaluated every few years. Even as a child of God, you need to reevaluate yourself to make sure, like Sheila said, that you are listening to God and not to somebody else whispering in your ear thinking that they know better. Which is what we get into a lot of problems with because we listen to the whispers too much instead of the voice. Sheila giving me the applause because she on mute. So I am. I've said it before, and I'm going to probably keep saying this through Psalms. I'm having a good time because this is good. I do say we should throw a little wisdom and sprinkle in there and do a couple of proverbs. Like in the next couple of weeks. Like, yeah, that'll be fun. Throw a little, sprinkle that in there. Get some seasoning. Yeah, I like the seasoning. Yeah. Okay. Sheila's trying to be polite because she knows she can go on a tangent to the left, so she puts herself on mute. She's not being mean and making me talk, people. I'm just letting you know, but she's just doing that because she'll get in there and then the idea, like I'm saying the idea that we're going to do a future and this will be a conversation after we get offline, but she'll start it now and we'll forget what we were talking about and be over there somewhere. And it's like she's learning and getting better at this. She over here laughing at me because I'm speaking truth. Okay. So looking at time, we are good now. Do you have any last words?
Nope, I co-sign everything you've just said. And really, folks, just remember to pray. Remember to pray for those around you. Pray for yourself. Keep yourself stable. Keep yourself anchored. Um, because if you can't take care of yourself, you're no good to nobody else. You really no good to nobody else. So be kind to yourself. Um, Something that we talked about before, and Gwen consistently does it, which is one of the things I said earlier about her makeup and her nails. Self-care is important because if you can be your truer self, okay, you are your kinder self, you are your better self, and that energy goes out to the world around you, and it seeps into those around you, and it does good things for those and even you in the long run. So just be good to yourself and pray and truly be allow yourself to be yourself. Period.
Yes. And with that being said, this has been another episode of Godly Spiritual Ladies. I've been one of your co-hosts, Gwendolyn. That is.
Sheila.
And we're gonna say bye and see y'all next week. Okay, bye now.
Ciao.